Hello, welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Rianj, and today I'll be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for UFC Fight Night, Columbus, Ohio. Interesting. I like it though. I like that they're getting away from Vegas, going around. This is the last of 8 straight events without a break. After this one, there is a little break, like a week off. So yeah, it's been a nice run though for this straight past 8 events. But we have UFC Fight Night Columbus, and the order has changed, but still these are all, as far as I know, I think they're all still prelim fights. So, and there's an odd number, so I'm going to give you 4 fights. Then more prelim fights, 3 of them tomorrow. Then I'll get into select fights, 3, and then finally main card fights on Thursday. So, but before I get into these fights, I'm going to go over quickly how I did last week. I did not bad, not great. I could have done a lot better, but full transparency. I tell you if I do well, I tell you if I do good, and I don't sugarcoat it. I just tell you how it is. So let me go through that just really quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So overall, I don't know, Tapology says I went 7-4. However, I flipped one of my picks, so I really went 6-5 because I did flip I flipped Arnold Allen. That was my original pick on Tapology 2. Then I flipped to, they convinced me to flip to Dan Hooker because of the experience and the resume and everything. But anyway, let's start at the beginning of the card. And these were, again, I didn't do these in the correct order either. The order was changed, but I'll go through the order I had, okay? Ilia Topuria beat Jay Herbert. I propped that out TKO round 2. That landed. Then Elise Reed. That's a Corey McKenna crushed like 4 different parlays for me with her loss. But I did make a hedge bet on Elise Reed. Check out my show last week, and you can see that I did. And I hedge bet her 1 unit. So I didn't lose as much as I should. I would have rather had Corey McKenna win, but Elise Reed got the decision there, and I did cash in a little bit of a hedge bet. I hedge bet her at plus 200 on the money line, so it turned my $20 1 unit play into $40. That was all right, I guess. Then the other parlay crasher, Mike Grundy. I thought that was my lock because I'm like, how's the guy gonna lose in front of his dad's terminal and everything? You know how it is. He had the pressure. He went in, stuck his head in there. Just a classic mistake. Makwan grabbed it up and got the choke, you know, real early in round 1. And it's not like Grundy wanted to tap out. He didn't tap. It took like Makwan Americani made him nap. Tap, snap, or nap. That's how it went. In that case, Mike Grundy took a nap by sticking his head out, going for that wrestling takedown. Just a poor fight IQ, just bad play there. So those 2 fights right there, Corey McKenna and Mike Grundy, squashed any big parlays that I had because they were in I played 3 different books. They were in my round robin 5-fight parlay in each book. However, the other 4 fighters of those parlays fared pretty well. Let's see. Next, moving up the card. Oh, this one, full green. This is the one that I did do well, thankfully, because of a flip I did too. I had Muhammad Mokaev. That was submission round 1. I had it TKO round 2, but it doesn't matter. I still had him as a parlay piece with Molly McCann. I originally had picked Luana Carolina, but I flipped last second. I flipped on Friday. And then I had, of course, Jack Shore by decision over Timur Valiev. So those 3 all cashed in for me, and I did parlay them, 3-leg parlay, and yeah, cashed that. I didn't post them like I did in Instagram. I was just too lazy. Didn't feel like messing around with media. I just wanted to watch the fights, enjoy the fights, and not have to worry about posting crap to media, whatever. Okay, moving along. I had Paul Craig. I had him propped out as a hedge bet submission. So that one, even though my pick on Tapology was Nikita Krylov, I lost that pick on Tapology, and I lost that parlay pick. But Paul Craig did get the submission, getting me I propped that out. I forget what I got it at. It was like a nice plus number though. It was over 200, I think, for submission prop. So cash that. Then I had Sergey Pavlovich, no problem. I had him TKO. I didn't prop it round 1, but I did prop it by TKO, so it didn't pay out huge. I think it was like an even number by TKO maybe. But I got that. Then I lost, well, I flipped my pick. I don't know what I was thinking. No, on Tapology, I picked Gunnar Nelson, but on paper and in my parlay during the show, I picked Takashi Sato because I was just an idiot. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought he might be able to, because he was at Sanford, I thought he might be able to improve his little takedown defense and manage to keep the fight standing. But Takashi Sato ended up losing to Gunnar Nelson. So I'll take that loss. You know, that was my own stupidity. Of course, I picked Paddy Pimblett, and he took care of business. Round 1 by submission. I propped it by submission, but I thought it was going to be later. But he came through with that. And like I said, I had originally picked Arnold Allen, flipped it on Friday after the weigh-ins because I'm like, Dan Hooker looks like... Originally, my whole reason for picking Arnold Allen was Dan Hooker's going to gas out from the weight cut. Then on the weigh-ins, he looked good. You know, Dave, I'm not going to blame it on Dave. I convinced myself to go with Dan Hooker. I'm like, Dan Hooker's got the better, fight resume, and just I thought he was going to perform better, but he didn't. Arnold Allen got the TKO round 1, and he deserved that win. Good on you, almighty Arnold Allen. And finally, I had picked Alexander Volkov, Stupido, Pabo. That's how you say stupid in Korean, is Pabo. I was Pabo on that stupid bet because going into that, my heart, everything was saying pick Tom Aspinall, but you know, I get easily persuaded by other cappers, and I was listening to who was, I think, Will Martin, who's from the UK, and he was going against Tom Aspinall. I'm not blaming it on him. I make my own decisions, but him and Ray from Pick'em's podcast, listen to them. I thought they had a viable argument taking Alexander Volkov. He has 4 times as much experience. I thought he was going to have the better ring IQ, come in as the bigger guy, which he was a little bit bigger. I knew Aspinall was going to be faster, but I didn't realize he was going to be that much faster. He was it paid out for Tom Aspinall. Good on him. He got the submission round 1. So, like I said, in Tapology, I went 7-4, but in betting and in real life, I went 6-5. But in my bankroll, I would say because of this and a couple nice prop bets, I just fared a little bit in the green. I didn't like win enough to do anything with, but I think I close to broke even. I think I came out a little bit ahead, but it's hard to keep track because I also bet NCAA, March Madness. I did well in March Madness, and I'm a degenerate soccer gambler. I bet global soccer on the daily, and that day La Liga, the Spanish league, came through for me, and I know I won like a few hundred on a four game soccer parlay. And so I don't know how much I came through, but 6-5. That's all you gotta know. 6-5. From now on, I think I'm gonna get do the stupid pics like all the other cappers do on Instagram, where they show the full card and they put the circles and the checks. I think I might do that from here on out, just because people are asking me. I am. Sorry. So there you go. That's that for UFC Fight Night London. 6-5. Not bad. Still came out ahead by a little bit. So let's get into this. Like I mentioned earlier, this is not the fight order has changed on Tapology. I'm going with the fight order that they put out on Saturday night when I printed it out and started doing my work. So the former curtain jerker was this Russian on Russian fight, middleweight fight between Aliaskhab, Khizriev, and Denis Tiuliulin. I don't even know how to Tiuliulin. I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce that. These guys are both making their UFC debuts. Denis Tiuliulin is actually coming in short notice for Abusupian Magomedov. I think I got that one correct. But he's going against this guy, Aliaskhab Khizriev. Khizriev undefeated, the Black Wolf, that's his nickname, 13-0. He's coming off a Contender Series choke in 50 seconds of the first round over Enrique Shigemoto, which is weird. That's like a French and Japanese name, Enrique, then Shigemoto. So that's weird. But prior to the Contender Series fight there, he came out of Fight Night Global. As you see, he's undefeated, 13-0. Another menacing, undefeated Dagestani. These guys, they're just coming out from everywhere. For his 13 wins, 5 of them are by knockout, 3 of them by submission, and 5 by decisions. He's pretty well-rounded. Tapology doesn't have a training facility listed. However, his picture shows him surrounded by Eagles MMA. That's out of Moscow. Eagles MMA, the training facility in Russia. So we're going to assume that he's coming out of there. Now, his opponent, Denis Tiuliulin, 10-5. As I mentioned, short notice fighter. He's coming out of, this is his UFC debut. He never even went to Contender Series. He's coming out of UAE Warriors. That's the Abu Dhabi regional scene he had a TKO, round 1 TKO over Juscelino Ferreira. Okay. Before that, his most recent loss is in Brave CF to Ikram Aliaskhab, who from what I heard is one of Khamzat's former opponents or something. The only guy he's lost to was Khamzat Chimaev or something, some sort of affiliation there. Anyway, he lost by Kumara round 3 to that guy. And before Brave CF, he does have a lot of fights over M1 Global. He's 4-1 in his last fight. He's got a 4-inch height advantage. The reach is unknown for the guy, so I don't know. And he has no gym listed. A lot of question marks around this guy. But look at these odds. The undefeated Russian, minus 450, 4.5 to 1 odds. Tiuliulin, it's such a mouthful to say that. Tiuliulin, plus 350, so your $100 bet will make you 3.5 times more, $350 on a $100 bet if you got Denis Tiuliulin to beat the Black Wolf Aliaskhab Khizriev. So let's get into what the cappers have taken this fight. Khizriev is 31. The Denis guy is 33. Both Russians. Starting with the favorite, we've got Burt MMA. Burt all over the undefeated Khizriev. Ray from MMA Pick'ems. I appreciate the early picks, Ray. He's saying by decision for Khizriev. Then we've got DFS Or we got the stat diggers, both Brady, DFS by the numbers, and Uncle Weezy, both taking Khizriev. So write stat dig. Brady says KO round 1. Weezy didn't say, but he said he pretty much agreed. So we're just gonna say KO for stat diggers. Okay. Then we got Dev and Sal. Dev the dude and Sal the red. Both saying this is their lock. This is one of their locks. So I'll draw a little lock there. Okay. Dev and Sal saying that's their lock. And finally, it's your boy, eBay's saying Khizriev by submission, making this a full capper consensus. Nora's upstairs, I guess. But a full capper consensus is when... Oh, there she is.
Pick one side of the whiteboard.
And in this case, everybody's picking Aliaskhab Khizriev. Yep. Nora's got her mask on because she had a little bit of exposure and she had some symptoms. But yeah, so she's sporting the mask, if anybody's asking questions. So here I am also going to take the heavy favorite. I'm not, and I don't know enough about Tiuliulin, Denis, to put a hedge bet or anything, so I'm just going to take Khizriev to get it done. I'm going to say by, you got to prop it out, so we're going to say TKO round 2. I'll give Denis the benefit of the doubt of him lasting through round 1. But look at this. The round is the over-under set at 1.5. Over that is plus money. So this definitely TKO round 2 for Khizriev will be plus money. Making this, that's how I only bet it if I can get plus money on it. And at minus 450, that is disgusting. You got to prop it out and make that plus money to make it worth a bet. Moving on. Next, this is moved way up the card, but I did my research on it when it was lower on the card. We've got female flyweight fight between Jennifer Maia taking on Manon and Fiorot, the beast, the French beast. This one, another big wide line here. Manon Fiorot comes in 8-1. She's the 4-1 favorite, minus 400, taking on Jennifer Maia at a 3-1 underdog, plus 300 for Jennifer cute-ass dimples Maia. She does have adorable dimples for Jennifer Maia. Okay, let's talk about the favorite in Manon Fiorot, the beast. She's 1 year younger than Maia. She's a phenomenal striker out of France. She trains out of the boxing squad, so you know her boxing's on point. She's on a streak. Her only loss ever was her pro debut, where she lost by split decision to somebody with a little bit more experience in Leah McCourt. So that's not bad. She's been on a streak since that one loss in her pro debut. Now she's 8-1 since then. Her most recent wins are against Maia Silva, a very similar fighter to Jennifer Maia, I might add. And prior to that, she beat Tabitha Ricci, standing TKO round 2. And before that, in her UFC debut, she had another standing TKO round 2 against Victoria Leonardo. Manon Fiorot's got the tail of the tape, 3-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage over Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia coming here with a little bit more experience, 3 times as many fights. Maia's 33. Her record's 19 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw. She's coming off a loss to Caitlin Chukagian. She fought her twice. Both times she lost to her. Before that, though, she does have a win against Jessica I, unanimous decision. She went to decision with Valentina Shevchenko, the GOAT, which is an accomplishment, but I think Shevchenko was kind of like playing with her food. I think she could have finished her earlier, but she was just letting her have some false hope, taking it to decision where I don't know, maybe not. Maybe she was giving her it all. Because prior to that, Jennifer Maia did catch Joanne Wood, formerly Joanne Calderwood, with armbar round 1. And she trains out of Shootbox Monstro that is in Brazil. So she does have I think she does have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but so did Mayra Bueno Silva, who Manon Fiorot managed to get unanimous decision over. And actually Manon Fiorot managed to take down Mayra Bueno Silva a few times. So don't think Manon Fiorot has a fear of going to the ground with anybody when she could have beat Mayra Bueno Silva just standing up. She was already winning on the feet. But she's like, you know what, screw this, I'm the beast. I'm gonna take her down. And she did, and she still came out unanimous decision. I would have played it safe and been standing fouls her, but hey, whatever. She's doing what she's gonna do. So let's see what the cappers have to say in this one. Oh boy, we have okay, like I said, plus 300 on Jennifer Maia, minus 400 on Manon Fiorot. That is disgusting odds. You're gonna have to prop that, and decision. It looks like it's gonna go to this is a female fight, so minus 200. The bookies think it's gonna go to the decision too. If you think it's not, you'll get paid out plus 160. So starting with the favorite. What do we have? We've got the Stat Diggers. Both of them are taking Manon Fiorot. They think that she's better everywhere the fight could go. The one path to victory for Maia would be on the ground, but Maia does not go for she does not go for takedowns. I heard a stat from Uncle Weezy saying like in her entire career she's like 2 for 6 attempts or something crazy. But I know stat-wise, Manon Fiorot's got better takedown defense, and her striking is better than Jennifer Maia as well. Ray from MMA Pick'ems, he's saying Fiorot should get the decision. Good pick, Ray. I don't know if that's going to be plus money. I doubt it, but we'll see. Burt also taking Manon Fiorot. Cell by decision, but Dev said KO round 1. The lock, another lock for Dev and Cell, another lock, and then it's your boy eBay's also taking Manon Fiorot by decision, making this yet another full capper consensus. I'm not going to do the dance. You know why? They're minus 400, minus 50. Of course, all the cappers are going to pick who's going to win. Look at the odds. It's rare that you got somebody that's going to go against big favorites like that. And if they do, I definitely try to get them on my show because I like the contrarian pickers. But in this case, everybody's taking Manon Fiorot, as am I. I'm very high on Manon Fiorot. And I see her sailing until she gets a definite prime top 10 opponent. And then I think I'll have to do some research. And I think she can hold out with the best of them. Manon Fiorot is a beast. I'd like her to win this. I don't like to say decision because it's still not going to be plus money. If you round bet it, it will be plus money. But I'm playing with my head. That is a smart bet to make it Manon Fiorot by decision. So, moving on. Next, we've got the bantamweight showdown between Baccarel Danaa. I don't know if it's Danaa Baccarel or Baccarel Danaa. I don't know. Let's just call him Storm. That's his nickname. I don't know. Whatever. Taking on El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez. This is going to be a very good fight. Finally, we got lines that aren't so wide that you already know which side they're going to go for, okay? This one, lines are very much closer. We got Danaa, 12-2, only 2 losses as a professional, minus 155 over the slight underdog, plus 135, Chris Gutierrez, 17 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws as a professional. Okay, let's see, starting out with Danaa Baccarel, the favorite. He is 32 years old. Chris Gutierrez, 30 years old. Tail of the tape, Gutierrez has 2-inch height advantage. Baccarel has 3-inch reach advantage, which is kind of awkward, but that type of thing happens, okay? Danaa Baccarel coming off a win against a TKO in round 1 against Brandon Davis. Brandon Davis was never finished until that fight. Keep that in mind because you know what? Chris Gutierrez has never been finished either. So I was like, oh, he's never been finished. Well, neither was Brandon Davis till he fought Baccarel Danaa. Prior to that, Danaa has a win over Kevin Natividad. Counter left hook, 50 seconds of round 1. Under a minute took him out. Prior to that, he took out Guido Canetti, left hook, round 1. And he suffered his first loss in his UFC debut against Tiuliulin by unanimous decision. He trains out of, when he's at home in Mongolia, it's called One Team Fighting or something, One Team Fighting in Mongolia. When he's stateside, he's in New Mexico, Albuquerque at Jackson Wink. And as of recently, he's been training Jackson Wink because I did check him out on Instagram. He has pictures posted of him like on some field trip. I think he might have been sleigh riding or something because they show a picture of him with Holly Holm, his coach Joe Cruz, and 2 regional fighters that train out of Jackson Wink. And they're all like in the snow and stuff. But then I popped the Instagram for one of the regional fighters. I didn't write their names down. But the regional fighters, it shows a picture of him in a toboggan sled with Holly Holm giving him a push down a hill or something. I don't know, something like that. I think they went on a little... Anyway, he's been training out of Jackson Wink. Danaa Baccarel. He's not in Mongolia right now. Chris Gutierrez, on the other hand, he's training out of Factory X Muay Thai, which as of lately has been putting out a lot of active fighters. Chris Gutierrez is coming in on short notice for Montel Jackson. Short notice fighter, didn't get a full camp. Got to keep that in mind. But this dude is game, okay? He's coming off a split decision win over Felipe Colares. Before that, he has a decision win against Andre Ewell. He has a draw against Cody Durden, but that was kind of, he should have won that, but Cody Durden backpacked him for a round or 2 or something. Just did his suction cup wrestling. So he's 5-0-1 draw in his last 6. His last loss was in the Ultimate Fighter finale against Raoni Barcelos. Barcelos managed to find the rear naked choke against him in round 2 against Chris Gutierrez. But El Guapo has fought some decent UFC caliber fighters. He's a game opponent here for Danaa Baccarel. He's got a 2-inch height advantage. As I mentioned, Baccarel's got the 3-inch reach advantage. Okay. And Chris Gutierrez, I checked his Instagram. He's definitely a Factory X Muay Thai. And he's doing extracurricular. I saw he's got like a 4-wheeler or something. He's doing riding trails and stuff. I don't know. As of lately, I've been checking out their Instagram just to get a little bit of insight, confirm where they're training, because some of them have like Tapology has them training out of Chop Shop MMA in Texas. He's not there. He's down into Factory X Muay Thai. So, Chris Gutierrez. Okay. So, starting with the slight favorite in Danaa, Baccarel Danaa. We've got, it's your boy, eBay's, taking Danaa by TKO round 3. I like it. I like it, eBay's. I like the method, and I like that you're picking the round 2. That's making minus 55, 155 plus quadruple digits. Round 3 TKO, I guarantee is quadruple. It's like over plus 1,000. So your $100 bet will make you over $1,000 if you nail that. I'm a reasonable gambler. My $10 bet would make me over 100, probably $200 or something if I nail that. I'm not sure exactly, but check it out. Then we've got Pick'ems. No, yeah, might as well. Pick'ems always goes second. I'm sorry. Ray from the Pick'ems podcast, Pick'ems MMA podcast, also taking Danaa, Baccarel Danaa. We've got Burt taking Baccarel by decision. We've got Stat Diggers also playing on the side of Danaa, DFS, and Wheezy. And finally, we've got Contrarian Picks, Dev the Dude, and Cell. Dev is saying this is another lock. He's locking all these. So we got Dev, the Dude, and Cell, the Red, locking in Chris Gutierrez. And it was kind of racist, Dev. I'm sorry, just as a viewer, it looked like his reasoning, he's fading Baccarel because he's Asian. Not because he's Mongolian, not because he was like, all the Asian fighters just been, things have not been going their way. But I beg to differ. I mean, who's the Chinese fighter just knocked out that dude last week? Or week before, I don't know. But anyway, Dev said his reasoning behind this is because Baccarel is Asian, and Asian fighters have been coming in a little lackluster on their performance. And if it goes decision, the judges have been siding with the Caucasian or other race fighters. But anyway, Sal is not calling a lock, only Dev is, so I'll move the lock over to Dev's name. Dev the Dude and Sal the Red, both in agreement that Chris Gutierrez will get the win here. I'm gonna go with the Mongolian. Surprise, surprise, with the favorite. I think he has he's got the little bit of the reach advantage. I think he hits stronger. Chris Gutierrez might have more volume. I didn't check any stats, to be honest with you, but I think Chris Gutierrez might have slight more volume, but I think Baccarel has the stronger, more significant, impactful hits, and he will overpower him and get probably the nod from the judges, and I think he's going to probably win a decision here. So I'm taking Danaa Baccarel by decision in this fight. And moving on. Finally, what's the time check on this? I'm perfect. 10 minutes per fight. And I did a recap of London. So, finally we're on to the featherweight fight between Luis Saldana taking on Bruno the Tiger Souza. This is going to be an interesting fight as well. Okay, Bruno Souza and Luis Saldana are both minus numbers. Saldana a little bit more of a favorite. He's at minus 115. Souza's a minus 105. Tail of the tape. Luis Saldana does have a slight height and reach advantage. And he is 31. Souza is 26, so Souza comes in with a little bit of the age advantage for these featherweights. Okay, so let's start with the favorite in Luis Saldana. He's training out of MMA Lab. I heard he's been getting trained with wrestling from Henry Cejudo. Triple C's been training Luis Saldana on his wrestling, which is good, against Bruno Souza. We'll discuss that in a minute. Okay, he's coming off a loss to Austin Lingo, unanimous decision. Prior to that, he did beat Jordan Griffin, unanimous decision, in his UFC debut. And before that, he was in the Contender Series and LFA, which he does have wins in both spots against people I really don't know. He's 4-1 in his last 5 for Luis Saldana. Bruno Souza, the karate stylings, very low volume. Like he doesn't strike a lot. He's more of like a karate style, like counter striker, and he's not very aggressive. He's more of a plotting, kind of a quirky fight IQ. Like he's looking for your faults. He's very low volume and low pressure, kind of like his. He's a protege to Lyoto Machida, because that's where he trains, out of the Machida Academy. So very similar stylings, and that's why on the ground you would imagine he's got the better BJJ over Luis Saldana. All his fights that he wins do go to decision. I don't think he's seen a finish since he's been as a pro. I could be wrong on that, but let's see. Most recently, his UFC debut, he got destroyed by Melsik Bagdasaryan. Not destroyed, but Melsik Bagdasaryan got a unanimous decision, and that was clean. Every round he took cleanly over the Bruno Silva. Prior to that, he was an LFA. He beat Javier Garcia, unanimous decision. And he does have some wins over UFC caliber opponents. He beat Mike Hamill. Mike Hamill had a legal blow. I'm not sure if it was a knee or one of those 12-6 elbow. I didn't look it up, but he had a legal blow victory over Mike Hamill. And he has a split decision victory over Kamuela Kirk, who you guys just saw get defeated by, who was it? One of the older fighters there. The one from, who was it? Is it Luigi Vendramini or Guido Canetti? One of those older fighters, Kamuela Kirk. I lost money on that fight, by the way. But Bruno Souza also got a split decision win over Kamuela Kirk, so I suppose that's a good look for him. But the dude, just his output is not there. He's just more of a counter striker, and he reacts rather than being aggressive. So let's see what the cappers have to say in this close featherweight fight. All right. Starting with the slight favorite in Luis Saldana. We've got Stat Diggers, DFS. Weezy didn't really say he's coming out and taking Saldana, but Brady did. Brady's not very confident with it, but he likes the volume more, the pressure. He doesn't like the boring Bruno Souza style of fighting, the plotting, thinking, counter-striking, reaction type of fighting, the karate stylings of Bruno, Tiger, Souza, and Machida, the Machida Academy. Okay, then jumping over here, we got Burt taking Souza by decision. Good on ya. We got Ray from the Pick'ems podcast taking Saldana by decision. Then we got It's Your Boy eBay's taking Souza by decision. And by the way, Souza is a decisionator. He makes his strikes. He doesn't throw a lot of volume, but the volume he does throw counts. And when he does get it to the ground, he'll smother you with that Machida style BJJ grappling. So keep that in mind. Then we've got Dev and Cell for the tiebreaker. And they're split in here. We got Dev saying Saldana should get the knockout round 2 over Bruno Souza. Bruno Souza's never been finished, by the way. Never been finished. Keep that in mind. And then we got Cell on the side of the Tiger, Bruno Souza. Now this one, I'm going to be honest, I've been back and forth. But I have to go with the more aggressive fighter. I know Souza has not been finished, but Saldana he'll have the more aggression, more volume, more point strikes he's got the reach advantage, so he can strike him from the outside. Souza will just eat those strikes looking for his way in, but not find it, because as you can check it out, very, very low volume strikes from Bruno Souza. It's karate, Mr. Karate, So I'm going to take Luis Saldana to get it done here. And I think he's going to edge out a decent... Look at my marker just died halfway through. Decision by outstriking, getting more volume over the karate stylings of Bruno Silva. So to recap, time check. Good idea. Perfect. Okay, so to recap, I've got the Aliaskhab Khizriev with the full Kappa consensus, knocking out Denis Tiuliulin. In round 2, I'm going to give Denis the benefit of the doubt, lasting a little bit more than 1.5 rounds. It's during round 2. It might be under 1.5. I don't know, but I'm going to take Khizriev TKO round 2 as my prop bet when they're walking down. Then I have Manon Fiorot, unfortunately by decision, so I don't think it's going to stop early, because Jennifer Maia she lasted with Valentina Shevchenko. So, I mean, she does have the durability and the grit. She's going to last. It's going to go to decision, and Fiorot is going to have the better. She's going to win every round cleanly, win all 3 rounds, unanimous decision because of the volume and strikes. Take the beast in that one. I'm pretty confident, as well as everybody else. Minus 400. Ugh. So unfortunately, that's not going to be a plus money, but I will put it in this 4-leg parlay. Then I have Danaa Baccarel, another favorite to beat Chris Gutierrez. I think he's going to get the decision victory over here. Gutierrez also has yet to, I don't think he's been finished either. Maybe he has. I don't. Oh, yeah, he has. Henry Barcelos beat him. Rear naked choke. So he has been finished. But Chris Gutierrez, short notice. Baccarel is just hit stronger. His punches are harder. He comes in with a lot of power behind his fists. So I'm taking Baccarel. I think he's going to get the decision. Gutierrez will be durable enough. It's a bantamweight fight, so it's not like he's got heavyweight power coming behind him. 135 pounders. So I got Danaa winning a decision over Chris Gutierrez. And finally, I'm taking Luis Saldana over Bruno Souza because of his volume and Souza's just unappealing fight style. He's very low aggression, more of a counter striker, more of a karate type guy where he's looking for his weight in, and I don't think he's going to find it against Luis Saldana. He might have a shot if it does go to the ground. I think he might have a shot, but Saldana been training wrestling with Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo among the best in that field. So, Olympian, Triple C, so you can't take that from Luis Saldana. I think his training with Henry Cejudo is going to give him some good takedown defense and get him the volume, standing up, and get him the decision victory over the Tiger Bruno Souza. So there you have it. I'm going to parlay all these circles where my name is. Khizriev, Manon Fiorot, Baccarel, Danaa, Luis Saldana, 4-leg parlay. Lock it in. As Dev would say, lock them all. But I'm going to go with that. So gather the info, place those bets, cash those tickets. I really appreciate you watching. Give me that thumbs up. Go ahead and fill the comments with who you think's going to win these fights. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more prelim capper comparison picks. Good luck on your bets. And see you tomorrow. Later.